Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Iron Man 3, released in 2013, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. The world of Iron Man 3 opens on a stage where technology, heroism, and personal vulnerability collide in a way that feels both explosive and deeply human. This installment takes us beyond the armored suit and the larger-than-life battles to peer inside the psyche of a man wrestling with his own demons, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It is a film that shakes the foundation of the hero's invincibility, plunging him into a journey where survival means more than just brute strength. It demands ingenuity, courage, and the painful acceptance of one's limits. Set after the colossal events that shaped the universe's fragile balance, the story picks up with Tony Stark grappling with the aftermath of trauma. The once confident, playboy billionaire is now haunted by visions and sleepless nights, the weight of near-death experiences settling heavily on his shoulders. His reliance on the iconic Iron Man suits, those gleaming extensions of his own genius and power, feels both like a lifeline and a cage. This tension between man and machine pulses at the heart of the film, weaving a narrative that's as much about identity as it is about spectacle. The plot propels us into a pulse-pounding adventure when a mysterious and deadly adversary known only as the Mandarin emerges from the shadows, orchestrating attacks that threaten not only the city but the very core of Stark's world. This antagonist is shrouded in menace and mystique, a figure whose unpredictability and ruthlessness push the hero into unfamiliar territory. The film's tension escalates as the Mandarin's deadly game forces Stark to confront his vulnerabilities head-on, far from the technological comforts that once defined him. Thrown into chaos and stripped of his usual resources, the hero embarks on a high-stakes quest fueled by desperation and determination. His journey takes him from the gleaming skyscrapers of New York to the sun-drenched coasts of Tennessee, where he discovers that true strength arises not from armor, but from ingenuity and heart. Along the way, he allies with new faces who challenge his worldview and push him toward growth, forces that deepen the narrative beyond the classic hero versus villain formula. Amidst the electrifying action sequences and dazzling special effects lies a story rich with emotional nuance. The hero's struggle with anxiety and trauma is portrayed with surprising sensitivity, adding layers to a character often seen only through the lens of bravado and invulnerability. This introspective angle invites audiences to witness a man grappling with what it means to be a protector when the tools of protection falter. The film also teases intricate technological marvels, from next-generation suits to cutting-edge weaponry, underscoring the theme of human innovation as both salvation and peril. These inventions dazzle not only through visual spectacle but as extensions of the hero's evolving identity, symbols of adaptability and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Major twists punctuate the narrative, challenging assumptions and reshaping allegiances. The true nature of the Mandarin and the motives behind the attacks unravel in ways that upend expectations, blending political intrigue with personal vendettas. The hero's confrontation with these revelations forces a reckoning that tests his wit, strength, and resolve, culminating in a climax where ingenuity triumphs over brute force. This story is not just a continuation of a beloved saga but a reinvention, a bold exploration of what it means to be a hero when the armor you wear is no longer enough. It explores themes of identity, resilience, and redemption, wrapped in a high-octane thriller that pulses with energy and heart. Prepare to dive deep into a world where technology meets vulnerability, and where the true heroism lies in embracing both. So, let's embark on this thrilling journey together, peeling back the layers of heroism, innovation, and human complexity that make this film a standout in the superhero genre. Whether you're here for the action, the character study, or the surprises that await, there's much to discover beneath the gleaming armor. The story begins with a man defined by his brilliance and armor, yet haunted by shadows no suit can fully shield him from. After surviving a cosmic battle that shook the world, Tony Stark is plagued by anxiety and sleepless nights, trapped within his own mind. Surrounded by his technological marvels, an array of Iron Man suits scattered globally, he clings to these extensions of his will for security, yet feels increasingly caged by them. A fragile peace shatters when a series of devastating bombings rock cities worldwide, orchestrated by a mysterious figure known only as the Mandarin. Shrouded in menace and myth, the Mandarin commands fear through unpredictable attacks that seem designed to unnerve not just the public but Stark himself. When Stark's own home is destroyed in a brutal assault, he's forced into exile, stripped of his resources and armor, and left to rely on his wit and resilience. Landing in a small Tennessee town far removed from his high-tech world, Stark encounters Harley, a resourceful young boy whose friendship offers grounding and hope. Amidst this new environment, Stark finds unexpected allies, including a determined woman with her own mysteries, as they unravel the layers behind the Mandarin's threat and its ties to a rogue scientist's dangerous experiments. As Stark pursues answers, he confronts layers of deception, realizing some enemies where familiar faces and alliances may be fragile. Throughout this journey, he battles not only external threats but internal demons, his panic attacks and vulnerabilities humanizing the man behind the mask. Technology remains a double-edged sword. Stark's armor evolves, and he improvises new suits and gadgets from limited means, transforming vulnerability into ingenuity. High-octane action sequences alternate with intimate character moments, especially his growing connection with the town's residents, which adds warmth and complexity. The Mandarin's attacks escalate, weaving a tense narrative of intrigue and betrayal. Stark's relentless quest to protect those he loves and restore order drives the tension toward a looming confrontation. The narrative challenges notions of power, trust, and identity, promising a climax where intellect and heart prove mightier than mere force. In this unfolding story, Stark's transformation from a man defined by armor to one defined by courage and adaptability sets the emotional core. It's a thrilling, heartfelt journey where technology meets vulnerability, and true heroism emerges not from invincibility, but from the strength to face one's fears and reinvent oneself amid chaos. The tension that has been steadily building throughout the story reaches a fever pitch as the hero pushes deeper into the heart of the Mandarin's complex web. The seemingly unstoppable villain's grip tightens, forcing the hero to confront not only physical threats but a labyrinth of deception and unexpected truths that shatter assumptions and redefine the very nature of the conflict. What once seemed clear-cut, a battle between good and evil, becomes a far more intricate game of shadows, where trust is scarce and every revelation cuts deeper than the last. Stripped of his technological crutches and reliant on raw intellect and resilience, the hero embarks on a daring rescue mission. His journey is fraught with danger, spanning sun-drenched southern towns, dense forests, and the grim remnants of the Mandarin's stronghold. Each step forward reveals fresh layers of the Mandarin scheme, a plan that extends beyond terror into manipulation, greed, and a twisted desire for control that exploits fear itself. One of the story's pivotal moments arises with the unveiling of the Mandarin's true identity and intentions, a twist that recontextualizes prior events and challenges the hero's understanding of friend and foe. The Mandarin, once feared as a shadowy terrorist mastermind, is revealed to be a figure orchestrating illusions and falsehoods to mask deeper criminal enterprises. This revelation sends ripples through the narrative, forcing the hero and his allies to reconsider their strategies and alliances. It is a striking commentary on power, perception, and the facades people maintain to conceal their true motives. Amid this unfolding chaos, the hero's personal journey intensifies. The battles fought are no longer just against external enemies but internal fears and doubts. Scenes of introspection and vulnerability underscore his struggle to reconcile his identity beyond the armor, grappling with trauma and the burden of responsibility. This emotional depth adds a poignant layer to the high-stakes action, making the conflict as much psychological as physical. The climax converges in a spectacular confrontation where ingenuity, courage, and heart prove decisive. The hero, no longer dependent solely on his suits, employs resourcefulness and quick thinking to dismantle the Mandarin's plans. This battle is a crescendo of thrills and strategy, showcasing his evolution from armored titan to adaptable survivor. The destruction of the villain's lair, the liberation of captives, and the final showdown encapsulate the themes of redemption and resilience that have woven through the narrative. Key allies step forward in the decisive moments, their contributions underscoring the story's emphasis on trust and teamwork. The bonds forged earlier in the narrative become crucial, reinforcing the idea that even the most brilliant mind and powerful armor cannot prevail alone. This collective effort amplifies the emotional stakes and provides a satisfying counterbalance to the hero's solitary struggles. In the resolution, the hero confronts the consequences of his journey, both physical and emotional. He makes transformative decisions that reflect his growth, choices that embrace vulnerability and human connection over technological dominance. The final scenes offer a mix of closure and new beginnings, as relationships evolve and the hero lays down some of his burdens, opening a path toward healing and renewed purpose. Throughout the second half, the film balances pulse-pounding action with moments of quiet reflection, ensuring that the spectacle never overshadows the character's inner world. The interplay of plot twists and emotional arcs crafts a layered story that rewards attention and engagement, inviting viewers to root not just for the hero's triumph but for his personal redemption. This unfolding drama is a testament to the complexity of heroism in a world rife with uncertainty and deception. It celebrates human ingenuity, the courage to confront fears, and the power of relationships forged in adversity. The resolution is not merely about victory over evil but about embracing change, growth, and the imperfect yet profound journey toward wholeness. As the credits near, the narrative leaves audiences with lingering questions and reflections on identity, trust, and the true meaning of strength. The hero's evolution from armored warrior to adaptive survivor offers a fresh perspective on what it means to be a protector, not defined solely by power, but by resilience, heart, and the willingness to face one's own vulnerabilities. In essence, this second act is a thrilling, emotionally charged culmination of a journey that transcends traditional superhero tales. It delves into the human psyche while delivering electrifying action, crafting a story that lingers in memory and invites deeper contemplation long after the final frame fades to black. At the heart of this high-octane saga lies a cast of characters whose complexities and transformations breathe life into the sprawling narrative. These figures are far more than archetypes or vessels for action. They are richly drawn individuals whose journeys reflect not only the spectacle but the emotional and psychological depths that define true heroism. A closer examination of their traits, struggles, and growth reveals how the story transcends its genre conventions, inviting viewers into a nuanced exploration of identity, resilience, and human connection. Tony Stark, the protagonist, is a man of contradictions, a brilliant inventor and playboy billionaire whose sharp wit masks a simmering vulnerability. In this chapter of his journey, Stark is no longer the cocky genius who seemed invincible behind his armor. Instead, we witness a deeply human figure wrestling with trauma and anxiety, haunted by past battles and the fragility of life. His character arc is a compelling portrait of transformation, marked by moments of self-doubt and introspection that challenge the archetypal superhero mold. The portrayal of Stark's post-traumatic stress is particularly noteworthy. Scenes capturing his insomnia, panic attacks, and obsessive tinkering reveal a man striving to regain control over a life that feels increasingly uncertain. This vulnerability does not diminish his heroism. Rather, it adds layers of relatability and depth. Stark's journey toward self-acceptance and growth becomes a powerful narrative thread, illustrating that true strength lies not in invulnerability but in confronting one's fears. His reliance on the Iron Man suits throughout much of the story is symbolic of both protection and limitation. The suits represent his technological genius and a barrier between himself and the world, yet they also highlight his struggle to connect authentically with others and with his own identity. As the narrative progresses, Stark's evolution involves shedding dependence on the armor to embrace creativity, adaptability, and emotional openness. Pepper Potts, Stark's steadfast partner, emerges as a vital figure embodying loyalty, intelligence, and strength. Her role transcends that of a mere romantic interest. She is a grounded presence who challenges and supports Stark, providing balance amid chaos. Pepper's own journey reveals growth from assistant and love interest to an empowered individual taking on leadership and courage in her own right. Her increasing agency and resilience underscore themes of partnership and mutual empowerment. Supporting characters add texture and richness to the narrative landscape. The young boy Harley represents innocence, resourcefulness, and hope, qualities that resonate deeply with Stark and rekindle his own sense of purpose. Their bond is a poignant reminder of the human connections that anchor even the most extraordinary lives. Harley's family and the townsfolk provide warmth and authenticity, grounding the story in relatable human experience. The antagonist, known as the Mandarin, is a study in deception and menace. Initially portrayed as an enigmatic terrorist mastermind wielding fear and chaos, his character unfolds with surprising complexity. The reveal of the Mandarin's true identity and motives complicates the traditional villain archetype, introducing themes of illusion, manipulation, and the dangers of manufactured enemies. This layered portrayal challenges viewers to question appearances and consider the nature of power and control. A key figure in the antagonist's circle, a brilliant scientist whose experiments fuel much of the conflict, embodies the ethical ambiguities of scientific progress. Her character wrestles with the consequences of her work, blurring the line between victim and accomplice. Her interactions with Stark and others add moral complexity, highlighting themes of responsibility and redemption. Throughout the film, relationships between characters illuminate the story's emotional core. The evolving dynamic between Stark and Pepper is marked by trust, tension, and deep affection, reflecting the challenges and rewards of partnership. Stark's mentorship and friendship with Harley reveal a softer, more vulnerable side, highlighting his growth and capacity for empathy. Even antagonistic relationships carry shades of nuance, with moments that hint at shared pain or conflicted motivations. Visual and narrative elements reinforce character development. Costume choices, from Stark's casual disheveled look to Pepper's professional attire, reflect personality and evolution. The design of the Iron Man suits evolves to mirror Stark's shifting mindset and circumstances, symbolizing growth and adaptability. Cinematic techniques, close-ups capturing fleeting expressions, lighting that underscores mood, allow subtle emotional nuances to surface, deepening audience connection. In essence, the characters are the beating heart of the film. Their journeys, marked by courage, vulnerability, growth, and connection, elevate the story from a mere spectacle to a deeply human exploration of what it means to be a hero in a complex, uncertain world. Through their struggles and triumphs, the film invites us to reflect on our own fears, strengths, and the ties that bind us all. The story begins with a man defined by his brilliance and armor, yet haunted by shadows no suit can fully shield him from. After surviving a cosmic battle that shook the world, Tony Stark is plagued by anxiety and sleepless nights, trapped within his own mind. Surrounded by his technological marvels, an array of Iron Man suits scattered globally, he clings to these extensions of his will for security, yet feels increasingly caged by them. A fragile peace shatters when a series of devastating bombings rock cities worldwide, orchestrated by a mysterious figure known only as the Mandarin. Shrouded in menace and myth, the Mandarin commands fear through unpredictable attacks that seem designed to unnerve not just the public but Stark himself. When Stark's own home is destroyed in a brutal assault, he's forced into exile, stripped of his resources and armor, and left to rely on his wit and resilience. Landing in a small Tennessee town far removed from his high-tech world, Stark encounters Harley, a resourceful young boy whose friendship offers grounding and hope. Amidst this new environment, Stark finds unexpected allies, including a determined woman with her own mysteries, as they unravel the layers behind the Mandarin's threat and its ties to a rogue scientist's dangerous experiments. As Stark pursues answers, he confronts layers of deception, realizing some enemies where familiar faces and alliances may be fragile. Throughout this journey, he battles not only external threats but internal demons, his panic attacks and vulnerabilities humanizing the man behind the mask. Technology remains a double-edged sword. Stark's armor evolves, and he improvises new suits and gadgets from limited means, transforming vulnerability into ingenuity. High-octane action sequences alternate with intimate character moments, especially his growing connection with the town's residents, which adds warmth and complexity. The Mandarin's attacks escalate, weaving a tense narrative of intrigue and betrayal. Stark's relentless quest to protect those he loves and restore order drives the tension toward a looming confrontation. The narrative challenges notions of power, trust, and identity, promising a climax where intellect and heart prove mightier than mere force. In this unfolding story, Stark's transformation from a man defined by armor to one defined by courage and adaptability sets the emotional core. It's a thrilling, heartfelt journey where technology meets vulnerability, and true heroism emerges not from invincibility, but from the strength to face one's fears and reinvent oneself amid chaos. The tension that has been steadily building throughout the story reaches a fever pitch as the hero pushes deeper into the heart of the Mandarin's complex web. The seemingly unstoppable villain's grip tightens, forcing the hero to confront not only physical threats but a labyrinth of deception and unexpected truths that shatter assumptions and redefine the very nature of the conflict. What once seemed clear-cut, a battle between good and evil, becomes a far more intricate game of shadows, where trust is scarce and every revelation cuts deeper than the last. Stripped of his technological crutches and reliant on raw intellect and resilience, the hero embarks on a daring rescue mission. His journey is fraught with danger, spanning sun-drenched southern towns, dense forests, and the grim remnants of the Mandarin's stronghold. Each step forward reveals fresh layers of the Mandarin scheme, a plan that extends beyond terror into manipulation, greed, and a twisted desire for control that exploits fear itself. One of the story's pivotal moments arises with the unveiling of the Mandarin's true identity and intentions, a twist that recontextualizes prior events and challenges the hero's understanding of friend and foe. The Mandarin, once feared as a shadowy terrorist mastermind, is revealed to be a figure orchestrating illusions and falsehoods to mask deeper criminal enterprises. This revelation sends ripples through the narrative, forcing the hero and his allies to reconsider their strategies and alliances. It is a striking commentary on power, perception, and the facades people maintain to conceal their true motives. Amid this unfolding chaos, the hero's personal journey intensifies. The battles fought are no longer just against external enemies but internal fears and doubts. Scenes of introspection and vulnerability underscore his struggle to reconcile his identity beyond the armor, grappling with trauma and the burden of responsibility. This emotional depth adds a poignant layer to the high-stakes action, making the conflict as much psychological as physical. The climax converges in a spectacular confrontation where ingenuity, courage, and heart prove decisive. The hero, no longer dependent solely on his suits, employs resourcefulness and quick thinking to dismantle the Mandarin's plans. This battle is a crescendo of thrills and strategy, showcasing his evolution from armored titan to adaptable survivor. The destruction of the villain's lair, the liberation of captives, and the final showdown encapsulate the themes of redemption and resilience that have woven through the narrative. Key allies step forward in the decisive moments, their contributions underscoring the story's emphasis on trust and teamwork. The bonds forged earlier in the narrative become crucial, reinforcing the idea that even the most brilliant mind and powerful armor cannot prevail alone. This collective effort amplifies the emotional stakes and provides a satisfying counterbalance to the hero's solitary struggles. In the resolution, the hero confronts the consequences of his journey, both physical and emotional. He makes transformative decisions that reflect his growth, choices that embrace vulnerability and human connection over technological dominance. The final scenes offer a mix of closure and new beginnings, as relationships evolve and the hero lays down some of his burdens, opening a path toward healing and renewed purpose. Throughout the second half, the film balances pulse-pounding action with moments of quiet reflection, ensuring that the spectacle never overshadows the character's inner world. The interplay of plot twists and emotional arcs crafts a layered story that rewards attention and engagement, inviting viewers to root not just for the hero's triumph but for his personal redemption. This unfolding drama is a testament to the complexity of heroism in a world rife with uncertainty and deception. It celebrates human ingenuity, the courage to confront fears, and the power of relationships forged in adversity. The resolution is not merely about victory over evil but about embracing change, growth, and the imperfect yet profound journey toward wholeness. As the credits near, the narrative leaves audiences with lingering questions and reflections on identity, trust, and the true meaning of strength. The hero's evolution from armored warrior to adaptive survivor offers a fresh perspective on what it means to be a protector, not defined solely by power, but by resilience, heart, and the willingness to face one's own vulnerabilities. In essence, This second act is a thrilling, emotionally charged culmination of a journey that transcends traditional superhero tales. It delves into the human psyche while delivering electrifying action, crafting a story that lingers in memory and invites deeper contemplation long after the final frame fades to black. At the heart of this high-octane saga lies a cast of characters whose complexities and transformations breathe life into the sprawling narrative. These figures are far more than archetypes or vessels for action. They are richly drawn individuals whose journeys reflect not only the spectacle but the emotional and psychological depths that define true heroism. A closer examination of their traits, struggles, and growth reveals how the story transcends its genre conventions, inviting viewers into a nuanced exploration of identity, resilience, and human connection. Tony Stark, the protagonist, is a man of contradictions, a brilliant inventor and playboy billionaire whose sharp wit masks a simmering vulnerability. In this chapter of his journey, Stark is no longer the cocky genius who seemed invincible behind his armor. Instead, we witness a deeply human figure wrestling with trauma and anxiety, haunted by past battles and the fragility of life. His character arc is a compelling portrait of transformation, marked by moments of self-doubt and introspection that challenge the archetypal superhero mold. The portrayal of Stark's post-traumatic stress is particularly noteworthy. Scenes capturing his insomnia, panic attacks, and obsessive tinkering reveal a man striving to regain control over a life that feels increasingly uncertain. This vulnerability does not diminish his heroism. Rather, it adds layers of relatability and depth. Stark's journey toward self-acceptance and growth becomes a powerful narrative thread, illustrating that true strength lies not in invulnerability but in confronting one's fears. His reliance on the Iron Man suits throughout much of the story is symbolic of both protection and limitation. The suits represent his technological genius and a barrier between himself and the world, yet they also highlight his struggle to connect authentically with others and with his own identity. As the narrative progresses, Stark's evolution involves shedding dependence on the armor to embrace creativity, adaptability, and emotional openness. Pepper Potts, Stark's steadfast partner, emerges as a vital figure embodying loyalty, intelligence, and strength. Her role transcends that of a mere romantic interest. She is a grounded presence who challenges and supports Stark, providing balance amid chaos. Pepper's own journey reveals growth from assistant and love interest to an empowered individual taking on leadership and courage in her own right. Her increasing agency and resilience underscore themes of partnership and mutual empowerment. Supporting characters add texture and richness to the narrative landscape. The young boy Harley represents innocence, resourcefulness, and hope, qualities that resonate deeply with Stark and rekindle his own sense of purpose. Their bond is a poignant reminder of the human connections that anchor even the most extraordinary lives. Harley's family and the townsfolk provide warmth and authenticity, grounding the story in relatable human experience. The antagonist, known as the Mandarin, is a study in deception and menace. Initially portrayed as an enigmatic terrorist mastermind wielding fear and chaos, his character unfolds with surprising complexity. The reveal of the Mandarin's true identity and motives complicates the traditional villain archetype, introducing themes of illusion, manipulation, and the dangers of manufactured enemies. This layered portrayal challenges viewers to question appearances and consider the nature of power and control. A key figure in the antagonist's circle, a brilliant scientist whose experiments fuel much of the conflict, embodies the ethical ambiguities of scientific progress. Her character wrestles with the consequences of her work, blurring the line between victim and accomplice. Her interactions with Stark and others add moral complexity, highlighting themes of responsibility and redemption. Throughout the film, relationships between characters illuminate the story's emotional core. The evolving dynamic between Stark and Pepper is marked by trust, tension, and deep affection, reflecting the challenges and rewards of partnership. Stark's mentorship and friendship with Harley reveal a softer, more vulnerable side, highlighting his growth and capacity for empathy. Even antagonistic relationships carry shades of nuance, with moments that hint at shared pain or conflicted motivations. Visual and narrative elements reinforce character development. Costume choices, from Stark's casual disheveled look to Pepper's professional attire, reflect personality and evolution. The design of the Iron Man suits evolves to mirror Stark's shifting mindset and circumstances, symbolizing growth and adaptability. Cinematic techniques, close-ups capturing fleeting expressions, lighting that underscores mood, allow subtle emotional nuances to surface, deepening audience connection. In essence, the characters are the beating heart of the film. Their journeys, marked by courage, vulnerability, growth, and connection, elevate the story from a mere spectacle to a deeply human exploration of what it means to be a hero in a complex, uncertain world. Through their struggles and triumphs, the film invites us to reflect on our own fears, strengths, and the ties that bind us all. The film unfolds around a constellation of characters whose lives intertwine with technology, trauma, and transformation. At the center stands Tony Stark, a man whose brilliance and bravado mask an intricate inner world marked by vulnerability and growth. His journey in this story is not just about donning the Iron Man armor, but about confronting the fractures within himself, facing fears long buried beneath layers of genius and wit. From the outset, Stark's complexity emerges in vivid detail. Known to the world as a confident inventor and charismatic billionaire, he is revealed here as a figure grappling with post-traumatic stress. The scars of near-death experiences haunt him, manifesting as insomnia, panic attacks, and an obsessive drive to control his environment through technology. His genius becomes both a shield and a prison, a way to stave off chaos but also a barrier to genuine connection. This duality forms the emotional core of his character arc, a dance between power and fragility, confidence and fear. The film's exploration of Stark's psyche adds unprecedented depth to a character often seen through the lens of heroism and spectacle. His struggles humanize him, making his triumphs more meaningful. Scenes depicting moments of doubt and vulnerability, whether in the solitude of his workshop or amidst the chaos of battle, invite audiences to witness a man fighting to reconcile the hero he projects with the man he truly is. This portrayal challenges traditional superhero tropes by embracing complexity over invincibility. Integral to Stark's journey is his evolving relationship with the Iron Man suits. Each armor represents not just technological prowess but a facet of his identity and emotional state. Early in the narrative, the suits are numerous, a literal army at his command, symbolizing a dependence on external tools to navigate internal turmoil. As the story progresses, the suit's proliferation becomes both a strength and a liability, reflecting Stark's fragmented sense of self. His eventual reliance on ingenuity over armor signals a pivotal shift, embracing vulnerability and creativity over sheer force. Pepper Potts emerges as a formidable counterpart to Stark's turbulence. More than a love interest, she embodies strength, intelligence, and unwavering support. Her character arc transcends traditional roles, evolving from assistant and partner to a leader and warrior in her own right. Through her, the narrative explores themes of partnership, trust, and empowerment. Pepper's calm pragmatism and emotional grounding offer a vital balance to Stark's volatility, highlighting the power of mutual respect and resilience in overcoming adversity. The young boy Harley serves as a catalyst for Stark's transformation. Innocent yet savvy, Harley's friendship rekindles Stark's capacity for joy, hope, and humility. Their interactions inject moments of warmth and levity, grounding the story's larger-than-life stakes in human connection. Harley symbolizes the future Stark strives to protect and the simpler truths that anchor even the most complex lives. The antagonist, initially presented as the fearsome Mandarin, is a study in layered menace and misdirection. His character blurs the line between myth and reality, embodying the power of illusion and fear as tools of control. The eventual revelation of the Mandarin's true nature unravels the narrative's earlier tensions, introducing themes of deception and manufactured enemies. This complexity enriches the story's moral landscape, challenging viewers to question appearances and the narratives imposed by those in power. Supporting characters flesh out the social and emotional tapestry. The scientist linked to the antagonist's plans embodies the ethical quandaries of progress and ambition. Her conflicted loyalties and motivations add nuance, reflecting the human costs of unchecked experimentation. Other allies and adversaries, from Stark's loyal confidants to menacing operatives, contribute to the story's dynamic interplay of trust, betrayal, and courage. Visually and narratively, the characters are defined through nuanced design and storytelling. Stark's wardrobe evolves from disheveled casualness to a more grounded presence, mirroring his internal journey. The Iron Man suit's designs shift to reflect changing tactics and emotional beats, becoming extensions of character rather than mere gadgets. Cinematic techniques, close framing, lighting contrasts, and expressive performances reveal subtle psychological layers, inviting empathy and deeper engagement. The relationships among characters propel the emotional stakes. Stark and Pepper's evolving partnership is marked by moments of tension and tenderness, illustrating the challenges of love amid chaos. Stark's mentorship of Harley offers redemption and hope, while confrontations with antagonists force him to reconcile personal and global responsibilities. Ultimately, the film's characters transcend their roles within the superhero genre to become portraits of resilience, vulnerability, and transformation. Their journeys invite reflection on identity, trauma, and the courage to embrace change. Through their stories, the film explores what it truly means to be a hero, not invulnerable, but human, shaped by connection and the will to persevere. The making of this film is as layered and compelling as the story it tells, a blend of visionary creativity, unexpected challenges, and moments of serendipity that shaped the final masterpiece in ways both profound and surprising. Behind the gleaming suits and explosive action sequences lies a treasure trove of strange and fascinating facts, unusual occurrences on set, and little-known anecdotes that reveal the human side of this colossal production. Exploring these behind-the-scenes stories uncovers the magic, madness, and meticulous artistry that turned a high-octane superhero epic into a cultural phenomenon. One of the most remarkable aspects of the production was the director's original vision and how it evolved over time. Known for his penchant for blending character-driven drama with spectacular visuals, the director approached this installment with an intent to delve deeper into the protagonist's psyche than ever before. This focus on emotional vulnerability was not an afterthought but a central thread woven throughout the screenplay's development. However, this ambitious approach required delicate balancing, maintaining the franchise's signature spectacle while pushing into new narrative territory. The creative team's dedication to this balance led to multiple script revisions and on-set improvisations that shaped the film's unique tone. Casting decisions brought their own set of fascinating stories. The lead actor, already synonymous with the armored hero, committed fully to portraying a more fragile, complex version of the character. To prepare, he reportedly immersed himself in understanding anxiety and post-traumatic stress, consulting with experts to authentically capture the character's inner turmoil. This preparation influenced many scenes, adding authenticity to moments of vulnerability that might otherwise have felt out of place in a superhero narrative. An unusual occurrence during filming involved the lead actor's insistence on performing certain stunts personally. While safety protocols were stringent, the actor's willingness to push physical limits led to on-set incidents that kept the production team on high alert. For example, a demanding scene involving complex choreography and rapid movements required dozens of takes, taxing the actor's endurance but resulting in an electrifying sequence that elevated the film's intensity. Such dedication underscored the actor's commitment to fully inhabiting the character's journey. The creation of the Iron Man suits involved groundbreaking work in costume design and special effects. The production built multiple practical suits with intricate mechanical components, allowing for realistic movement and interaction. However, these suits were notoriously heavy and cumbersome, sometimes restricting the actor's mobility. To address this, the costume and effects teams developed lightweight versions for close-ups and motion capture suits for action scenes, blending physical and digital artistry seamlessly. Behind the scenes, the suit's complexity led to frequent maintenance and repairs, with costume technicians working tirelessly to keep the armors battle-ready. One particularly memorable anecdote involves a suit malfunction during a critical filming day. Mid-scene, a mechanical arm failed to operate as intended, causing a brief but unexpected interruption. Rather than frustrate the crew, the incident became a moment of levity, with cast and crew joking about the rebellious armor. This camaraderie helped maintain morale amid the demanding shooting schedule. The film's spectacular action sequences demanded innovative filming techniques. For high-speed chases and dynamic battles, the production employed a combination of practical stunts, wirework, and cutting-edge CGI. The integration of these elements required meticulous planning and coordination, with the visual effects team working closely with stunt coordinators to ensure safety without compromising realism. One behind-the-scenes secret reveals that many of the CGI-enhanced sequences were based on real physics simulations, lending an unexpected naturalism to scenes that might otherwise have appeared over the top. Sound design and musical scoring also offer fascinating insights. The composer crafted a score blending electronic elements with orchestral motifs, reflecting the film's fusion of technology and humanity. Recording sessions involved experimenting with unconventional instruments and sounds, some inspired by the mechanical noises of the suits themselves. This auditory innovation contributed to the film's distinct atmosphere, setting it apart from previous entries in the franchise. During filming in remote locations, the crew encountered weather challenges that tested their resilience. Unexpected storms and heat waves disrupted schedules, prompting rapid adjustments. One notable instance involved a scene planned for a sunny day being shot under a sudden downpour, forcing the team to improvise lighting and camera angles. These moments highlight the unpredictable nature of filmmaking and the adaptability required to bring a complex vision to life. The relationship among cast and crew is peppered with stories of friendship, mentorship, and creative exchange. The lead actor, known for his charisma, fostered a collaborative atmosphere on set, often encouraging input from co-stars and technicians alike. This openness contributed to spontaneous moments that enriched the film. Improvised lines, unscripted gestures, and off-script humor that found their way into the final cut. Such stories reveal a working environment where creativity thrived amid the pressures of a blockbuster production. Marketing for the film embraced these behind-the-scenes narratives, offering fans a glimpse into the making of the spectacle. Special features, documentaries, and interviews shared these unusual and humanizing moments, building anticipation and deepening audience engagement. The film's promotional tours featured candid discussions about the challenges and triumphs of the shoot, creating a sense of community among cast, crew, and fans. In terms of trivia, the film includes subtle nods and Easter eggs that connect it to broader cinematic universes and previous installments. These details reward attentive viewers and enrich the experience, demonstrating the filmmaker's care for continuity and fan service. For instance, certain gadgets and dialogue lines reference earlier moments, weaving a cohesive tapestry that links this chapter to a larger saga. The cultural impact of the film was amplified by these behind-the-scenes stories, which humanized the immense production and highlighted the dedication involved. Fans often cite these anecdotes as part of their appreciation, deepening the connection to the characters and the creative minds behind them. In summary, the strangest facts and behind-the-scenes tales of this film reveal a production marked by innovation, dedication, and unexpected moments that shaped the final masterpiece. From the actors' physical risks and emotional preparation to the technical marvels of the suits and effects, the human stories underpinning the spectacle invite us to celebrate not only the finished film but the remarkable journey that brought it to life. The film unfolds not just as a spectacle of high-tech marvels and explosive confrontations, but as a rich text layered with significant events that invite deep critical reflection. These pivotal moments, carefully crafted and thoughtfully placed, serve as more than mere plot devices. They become lenses through which themes of trauma, identity, power, and resilience are explored. Analyzing these key events reveals how they contribute to the film's profound emotional resonance and its lasting impact on audiences and critics alike. One of the earliest and most striking moments is the opening sequence, which plunges viewers directly into the aftermath of a devastating battle. This choice to begin with the hero's vulnerability rather than triumph immediately shifts the tone from invincibility to fragility. It signals a narrative willing to explore the psychological scars left by conflict, a rarity in the superhero genre. Critics have praised this approach for its bravery and depth, as it humanizes a character often seen only through his armor, inviting empathy and complex identification. This opening trauma sets the stage for the film's broader meditation on anxiety and post-traumatic stress. Scenes depicting the protagonist's insomnia and panic attacks are rendered with a rawness and authenticity that resonate beyond the screen. The film's willingness to portray mental health struggles within a blockbuster context challenges genre conventions and expands the emotional possibilities of superhero narratives. Scholars and commentators have highlighted this as a significant evolution, recognizing the film's contribution to destigmatizing psychological vulnerability. Another critical event centers on the introduction of the Mandarin, a figure initially shrouded in menace and myth. His attacks create a pervasive atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, tapping into contemporary anxieties about terrorism and global instability. The Mandarin's portrayal as a symbol of chaos and ideological extremism situates the film within a broader socio-political context, engaging with real-world fears while maintaining the story's fictional framework. However, the narrative subversion of the Mandarin's identity through a major plot twist invites critical debate. The reveal that the Mandarin is a manufactured persona, a facade for corporate malfeasance and personal vendetta, complicates the film's engagement with themes of terrorism and villainy. This twist disrupts the initial binary of good versus evil, introducing questions about media manipulation, spectacle, and the construction of fear. Critics have both lauded and critiqued this narrative choice. Some applaud its complexity and commentary on perception, while others lament the undermining of a compelling antagonist. This ambivalence enriches the discourse surrounding the film, encouraging viewers to interrogate the nature of villainy and truth. The film's portrayal of technology as both a source of empowerment and a potential threat is crystallized in key action sequences involving the hero's multiple suits and improvised gadgets. These moments dramatize the tension between human ingenuity and dependence on machines, reflecting contemporary concerns about technology's role in identity and security. The hero's evolution, from reliance on armor to embracing creativity and adaptability, embodies a thematic journey toward integration and self-acceptance. This trajectory has been interpreted as an allegory for personal growth, resonating with audiences who navigate their own complexities of control and vulnerability. Interpersonal dynamics, particularly the relationship between the protagonist and his partner, provide critical emotional anchor points. Their evolving partnership reflects themes of trust, mutual support, and shared resilience amid chaos. The narrative invests considerable time in exploring their connection beyond romance, portraying a nuanced portrayal of partnership that includes tension, sacrifice, and growth. This depth has been praised for adding emotional weight and realism, enriching the film's thematic fabric. The young boy Harley's role as a symbol of innocence and hope introduces a humanizing element that contrasts with the film's high-stakes conflicts. His interactions with the hero provide moments of levity and grounding, reminding viewers of the stakes beyond spectacle. Critics have noted how this relationship humanizes the hero and expands the film's appeal across age groups, contributing to its broad emotional resonance. Visually and narratively, the film employs motifs of light and shadow to underscore emotional and thematic contrasts. The interplay of warm, intimate lighting in personal moments against the stark, cold tones of action and danger visually narrates the hero's internal and external conflicts. These cinematic choices enhance the story's mood and invite deeper audience engagement. The climactic confrontation serves as a culmination of thematic and narrative threads. It emphasizes resourcefulness over brute force, highlighting the hero's growth and the power of collaboration. The inclusion of key allies in the resolution underscores the film's message about community and interdependence. This finale has been celebrated for its balance of spectacle and heart, providing a satisfying and meaningful conclusion. Critical reception has reflected appreciation for the film's layered approach. Reviewers have lauded its blend of thrilling action with psychological depth, highlighting how significant events are leveraged to explore complex themes. Academic analyses have further unpacked the film's engagement with trauma, identity, and media representation, situating it within broader cultural and genre studies. Audience responses reveal a similar duality: excitement for the visual spectacle coupled with emotional investment in the characters' journeys. Fan communities often discuss the film's portrayal of vulnerability and resilience, connecting personally with the hero's struggles. This engagement indicates the film's success in transcending formulaic storytelling to foster meaningful connection. The film's significant events also contribute to ongoing conversations about the evolution of superhero cinema. Its willingness to embrace complexity and nuance challenges the genre's traditional boundaries, encouraging future narratives to explore psychological and social dimensions more fully. This influence marks the film as a milestone in its cultural landscape. In sum, the film's critical events function not only as entertainment but as vehicles for thematic exploration and emotional resonance. Their thoughtful construction and integration elevate the story, inviting audiences and critics alike to reflect on the nature of heroism, trauma, and transformation. Through these moments, the film asserts its place as a compelling and meaningful chapter in modern cinematic storytelling. The journey from script to screen is often a story of equal parts inspiration and perspiration, a complex tapestry woven from countless moments of ingenuity, persistence, and serendipity. In the case of this film, the making of the spectacle was itself a grand adventure, one marked by visionary ambitions, technical innovations, and a remarkable camaraderie among cast and crew that transformed challenges into triumphs. Exploring the production insights and fun facts behind the scenes reveals not only the scale and complexity of the filmmaking process but also the human stories that breathe life into this cinematic achievement. At the outset, the production was fueled by a desire to push boundaries, both narratively and technically. The director's vision called for a film that balanced intimate character moments with groundbreaking visual effects and high-stakes action sequences. This ambition necessitated a multidisciplinary approach, blending traditional filmmaking crafts with cutting-edge technology. The filmmakers committed to authenticity wherever possible, creating immersive sets and practical effects that would serve as a tangible foundation for the digital enhancements that followed. One of the production's monumental tasks was the creation and evolution of the iconic armored suits. The design team collaborated closely with the director and lead actor to craft suits that not only dazzled visually but also embodied the characters' evolving emotional state and tactical needs. Multiple versions of the armor were built, some weighing over 50 pounds, each with intricate mechanical parts and finished with painstaking detail. These suits were often so heavy and restrictive that actors required assistance moving and performing. Behind the scenes, suit technicians worked tirelessly, repairing and maintaining these complex costumes between takes, ensuring they remained functional and visually impeccable. The challenges of filming action sequences with the suits were immense. For many scenes, actors had to learn complex choreography while wearing cumbersome armor. In some cases, stunt doubles were used, but the lead actor's commitment to performing as many stunts as possible added authenticity. The stunt coordination involved careful planning to balance safety with the kinetic energy audiences expect. One particularly demanding sequence involved a high-speed chase and fight in a confined space, requiring dozens of rehearsals and takes to perfect. In parallel, the visual effects team undertook groundbreaking work to blend CGI with practical effects seamlessly. Utilizing state-of-the-art motion capture and digital rendering, they expanded the capabilities of the suits and environments beyond physical constraints. The collaboration between practical and digital effects artists was a constant dialogue, each group pushing the other to innovate. The result was a dynamic visual language where the armor's responsiveness and power felt real, and the film's world was rendered with breathtaking detail. The filmmakers' commitment to realism extended to location choices and set design. Several key scenes were shot on location in diverse environments, from urban landscapes to rural settings, providing varied backdrops that enriched the narrative's texture. Practical sets, including interiors of Stark's workshop and the Mandarin's stronghold, were constructed with extraordinary attention to detail. These physical spaces allowed actors to inhabit their roles fully, grounding even the most fantastical elements in tangible reality. One surprising behind-the-scenes story involves a logistical challenge during a shoot in a remote location. An unexpected storm delayed filming for several days, threatening the tight schedule. Rather than succumb to frustration, the crew used this time for rehearsals and brainstorming, turning adversity into productivity. This spirit of adaptability characterized much of the production, with team members often improvising solutions to unforeseen problems. The soundtrack and score also offer fascinating production insights. The composer worked closely with the director to create a sonic landscape that mirrored the film's blend of technology and humanity. Innovative recording techniques involved capturing mechanical sounds and repurposing them musically, infusing the score with a unique texture. The iconic theme song, performed by a celebrated artist, was crafted to evoke both the hero's grandeur and emotional depth, becoming synonymous with the film's identity. Casting brought its own set of stories. The lead actor's preparation went beyond physical training to include psychological work, understanding trauma and vulnerability to enrich his portrayal. Supporting actors contributed improvisations that made their characters more vivid and authentic. The ensemble cast formed a tight-knit group, sharing experiences and supporting one another through grueling schedules. Marketing and promotional campaigns were carefully orchestrated to build excitement. Trailers emphasized both spectacle and character drama, while behind-the-scenes documentaries showcased the intricate production process. Fan events and interactive experiences invited audiences into the filmmaking world, strengthening community bonds and anticipation. Trivia aficionados delight in discovering Easter eggs scattered throughout the film, from subtle references to previous franchise entries to hidden nods to comic book lore. These details reveal the filmmakers' love for the source material and their desire to reward attentive viewers, enriching the cinematic experience. In conclusion, the production insights and fun facts paint a vivid picture of a collaborative, innovative, and passionate endeavor. The film's success rests not only on visionary direction and stellar performances, but on the dedication of countless artists, technicians, and storytellers who navigated challenges with creativity and heart. Their collective journey behind the scenes is a testament to the power of teamwork and imagination in bringing a complex, thrilling story to life on the big screen. The world of this film is as much a character as the people who inhabit it, a meticulously crafted universe where setting and cinematic elements intertwine to create an immersive experience that heightens the story's emotional and thematic resonance. Each location, each frame, and every visual choice has been carefully orchestrated to serve not only as backdrop but as a dynamic participant in the unfolding narrative. This deep integration of environment and atmosphere invites audiences to lose themselves in a realm that feels both vast and intimately real. From the very beginning, the film establishes a striking contrast between worlds, the glittering high-tech urbanity that embodies the protagonist's public persona and the quieter, earthier spaces that reflect his inner turmoil and quest for grounding. The sleek cityscapes, gleaming towers, and futuristic labs evoke a sense of modernity and control, illustrating a world dominated by technology and power. These locations are filmed with precision and polish, the cool tones and clean lines emphasizing a world where innovation reigns supreme yet emotional distance often follows. Yet as the story unfolds, the narrative draws the viewer into more intimate, textured environments. When the protagonist finds himself forced into exile, the shift to rustic, small-town settings injects warmth, texture, and humanity into the film's visual palette. The sun-dappled streets, weathered wood, and natural landscapes contrast sharply with the high-gloss city, embodying themes of simplicity, resilience, and connection. These scenes breathe life into the story's emotional core, grounding it in tangible reality and offering the hero, and the audience, a refuge from the chaos. The Mandarin stronghold and surrounding areas introduce yet another layer of setting, dark, shadowed, and steeped in menace. The production's choice to create environments that feel claustrophobic and foreboding amplifies the film's tension. Stark contrasts of light and dark, jagged architectural forms, and harsh color schemes evoke danger and moral ambiguity, reinforcing the thematic exploration of deception and power. These locations become visual manifestations of the villain's psyche and schemes, wrapping narrative in a palpable atmosphere of dread and uncertainty. Cinematography plays a pivotal role in shaping these environments and enhancing the film's mood. The director of photography employs a rich visual language that moves fluidly between sweeping panoramic shots and intimate close-ups. Wide-angle views of urban skylines and sprawling landscapes establish scale and context, inviting viewers to inhabit a world of grandeur and consequence. Conversely, tight framing on characters' faces captures subtle emotions, anchoring the narrative's human drama amid the spectacle. Camera movement adapts to the story's shifting tones. Smooth tracking shots and crane sweeps convey stability and control during moments of calm or power. In contrast, handheld, jittery sequences mirror chaos and vulnerability during action scenes or personal crises. This dynamic use of movement not only maintains visual interest but immerses the audience in the characters' psychological states. Lighting design weaves a nuanced tapestry that underscores the film's emotional beats. Warm, golden hues bathe scenes of intimacy and hope, suffusing them with softness and life. Cooler, harsher lighting dominates sequences of conflict and despair, casting long shadows and creating stark contrasts that heighten tension. The interplay of illumination and darkness visually narrates the journey from optimism to crisis and, ultimately, resolution. Color grading further refines the visual atmosphere, shifting palettes to echo narrative progression. Early sequences glow with vibrant saturation, celebrating invention and confidence. As the stakes rise, tones become muted, cooler, and more desaturated, reflecting uncertainty and loss. This chromatic evolution subtly guides viewer emotions, reinforcing the story's thematic currents. Set design and art direction contribute profoundly to world building. Every detail, from the cluttered chaos of the protagonist's workshop to the sleek minimalism of corporate boardrooms, speaks volumes about character and context. Props, textures, and spatial arrangements are carefully chosen to reflect personality traits, thematic motifs, and narrative tension. For instance, the stark contrast between the mechanical complexity of the suits and the natural simplicity of the small-town home visually articulates the hero's internal conflict. Visual effects integrate seamlessly with practical sets, enhancing realism while enabling imaginative storytelling. Digital augmentation brings to life the hero's evolving armor capabilities and large-scale action sequences, yet remains grounded by tactile elements. This fusion ensures that the film's spectacle never eclipses its emotional grounding. Sound design and score further enrich the setting's impact. Ambient noises, city hums, rustling leaves, mechanical whirs, anchor scenes in specific places and moods. The musical score echoes visual motifs, weaving electronic and orchestral textures that mirror the film's blend of technology and humanity, amplifying atmosphere and emotional resonance. In conclusion, the film's settings and cinematic elements form an intricate ecosystem where location, lighting, camera work, and sound converge to create a fully realized world. This carefully crafted environment not only situates the narrative but deepens its thematic and emotional impact, inviting viewers into a sensory experience that transcends the screen. Through this artistry, the film transforms from a tale of heroism and conflict into an immersive journey of human complexity and cinematic wonder. The making of this film was a saga in itself, a vibrant tapestry woven from countless moments of creativity, camaraderie, and challenge. Behind the gleaming armor and explosive action lay a world of human endeavor, of artists, technicians, and performers collaborating, improvising, and sometimes simply laughing through the grueling process. To truly understand the depth and spirit of the final work, one must delve into these behind-the-scenes stories, which reveal the heart and humor that shaped the journey as much as the story told on screen. From the earliest days of pre-production, the atmosphere was charged with a sense of ambitious possibility tempered by practical realities. The director, known for his exacting standards and collaborative spirit, cultivated an environment where ideas flowed freely. Cast and crew alike were encouraged to contribute creatively, fostering a collective energy that transformed obstacles into opportunities. This ethos manifested in a series of fun and surprising moments that punctuated the intense shooting schedule. One such moment occurred during a scene requiring the protagonist to interact with multiple versions of his armored suits. The technical demands were immense. Actors needed to coordinate with complex visual effects sequences, timing their movements precisely. During rehearsals, a miscommunication led to an unexpected cascade of suits malfunctioning mid-take, eliciting laughter and lightening the mood. Rather than frustration, this incident sparked a spontaneous team-building moment, with technicians and actors sharing jokes and stories that echoed through the set long after the cameras stopped rolling. The relationship between the lead actor and the stunt team was a highlight of the production. Known for his dedication and willingness to perform his own stunts, the actor often worked closely with stunt coordinators to choreograph sequences that balanced realism with safety. On one occasion, a particularly challenging fight scene required multiple takes and intricate timing. After hours of rehearsal, the team celebrated with a playful impromptu dance-off on set, a joyous release of tension that reinforced their mutual respect and friendship. These moments of levity amidst the physical demands kept morale high and forged bonds that translated into authentic on-screen chemistry. Costume design presented both artistic triumphs and practical hurdles. The Iron Man suits, masterpieces of craftsmanship and technology, were notoriously heavy and restrictive. Actors had to endure long hours in these elaborate costumes, often in confined or heated spaces. One humorous anecdote recalls an actor attempting a simple task, opening a door, only to be thwarted repeatedly by the suit's rigidity, prompting a round of laughter from the crew. Costume technicians developed ingenious solutions to facilitate movement and comfort, constantly repairing and adjusting suits to ensure performance readiness. Their behind-the-scenes dedication was a quiet backbone of the production's success. Filming locations added another layer of complexity and charm. Shooting in diverse environments, from sleek studios to rustic towns, presented logistical challenges. Weather disruptions were frequent, requiring rapid adjustments to shooting schedules and setups. During one outdoor shoot, an unexpected storm drenched equipment and set pieces, threatening delays. Rather than succumb to frustration, the crew rallied, using the downtime for brainstorming sessions and sharing meals. This adaptability and positive spirit were emblematic of the production's ethos. Director and crew interactions were characterized by openness and mutual respect. The director's collaborative approach extended to all departments, valuing input from lighting, sound, set design, and visual effects teams. This inclusivity fostered innovation, with creative solutions often arising from cross-departmental dialogue. For example, a challenge in simulating suit damage on screen led to an inventive combination of practical effects and digital enhancement, a synergy born from open communication. Visual effects artists, working behind the scenes to bring the armor and action sequences to life, shared stories of long nights and meticulous attention to detail. One memorable anecdote involves a team member who painstakingly animated the subtle glow of a suit's arc reactor, ensuring it reflected the character's emotional state. These small touches, often unnoticed by casual viewers, contributed significantly to the film's immersive quality. Sound design sessions were equally dynamic. Recording mechanical noises, layering ambient sounds, and integrating the musical score required a nuanced understanding of narrative rhythm. The composer and sound engineers engaged in playful experimentation, incorporating unexpected elements, from metallic clangs to electronic pulses, to craft a distinctive auditory palette. Their collaborative spirit fostered an atmosphere of creative exploration. Marketing efforts and fan engagement brought cast and crew into close contact with audiences, creating additional layers of connection. Cast members participated in interviews, fan conventions, and social media interactions, sharing behind-the-scenes stories that deepened fans' appreciation. These exchanges often revealed unexpected facets of the production, from humorous mishaps to heartfelt moments. In summary, the behind-the-scenes narrative of this film reveals a vibrant, human story of dedication, creativity, and resilience. Fun and surprising moments punctuated the demanding schedule, while strong relationships among cast and crew fostered a collaborative spirit that transcended challenges. These insights enrich our understanding of the film, reminding us that behind every spectacular frame lies a community of passionate individuals whose collective journey is as compelling as the story they bring to life. The film emerges not merely as a spectacle of power and technology, but as a profound exploration of themes that resonate deeply within the human experience. Beneath the gleaming armor and explosive action lies a rich narrative tapestry woven with motifs of vulnerability, identity, resilience, and transformation. The filmmakers deftly use symbolism and thematic layering to elevate the story from a conventional superhero saga into a nuanced meditation on the complexities of heroism and humanity. At the core of the narrative is the theme of vulnerability, a bold choice that distinguishes the film within its genre. The protagonist, long celebrated for his invincibility and charisma, is revealed to be a man grappling with profound internal fractures. His battles are no longer just external confrontations with villainy but intimate struggles with anxiety, trauma, and self-doubt. This portrayal challenges traditional superhero archetypes, inviting audiences to empathize with a hero whose greatest adversary often lies within. The recurring motif of armor serves as a potent symbol throughout the film. The Iron Man suit, emblematic of power and protection, simultaneously represents a barrier, a shell that both shields and isolates. The protagonist's reliance on his armor mirrors a psychological defense mechanism, a way to distance himself from vulnerability. His journey toward growth involves recognizing that true strength encompasses openness and adaptability, not just technological might. This tension between armor and vulnerability underscores the narrative's emotional depth. Transformation and reinvention are also central themes. The film charts a path from reliance on external constructs to embracing internal resilience and creativity. The evolution of the suits, from bulky, numerous armors to streamlined, versatile designs, parallels the protagonist's psychological journey toward integration and self-acceptance. This metamorphosis signifies the capacity for change, highlighting that identity is fluid and shaped by experience and choice. Power, both its allure and its pitfalls, is explored with complexity. The narrative interrogates the consequences of technological dominance and the ethical responsibilities that accompany innovation. The villain's manipulation of fear and spectacle reveals the darker dimensions of power, how it can be weaponized to control and deceive. In contrast, the hero's use of intellect and heart to overcome adversity emphasizes power's potential for protection and healing. This duality enriches the moral landscape of the film, inviting reflection on the nature and use of power in society. The theme of identity is intricately tied to the narrative and symbolism. The protagonist's struggle to define himself beyond the armor raises questions about authenticity and selfhood. Scenes of introspection and moments of disarmament, both literal and figurative, invite viewers to consider what constitutes the essence of a person. The film suggests that identity is not static but an ongoing negotiation between past, present, and potential. Trust and deception weave through the story's fabric, particularly embodied in the figure of the Mandarin and the layered revelations about his true nature. The construction and deconstruction of the villain's persona symbolize broader themes of illusion and reality, prompting viewers to question appearances and the narratives presented by those in power. This motif resonates with contemporary anxieties about media, misinformation, and the manipulation of perception. Symbolism saturates the visual and narrative elements. The suits themselves, beyond their functional role, serve as icons of the protagonist's psyche, each design and capability reflecting facets of his inner world. The arc reactor, a glowing heart within the armor, symbolizes both life-sustaining energy and emotional core, anchoring the character's physical and spiritual vitality. Environmental contrasts further underscore thematic tensions. The juxtaposition of sleek urban landscapes with rustic small-town settings mirrors the hero's internal conflict between technological sophistication and human simplicity. These settings are not mere backdrops but narrative devices that enrich the story's exploration of belonging, change, and grounding. The interplay of light and shadow throughout the film acts as a visual metaphor for clarity and obscurity, hope and despair. Warm, intimate lighting highlights moments of connection and revelation, while stark shadows accompany scenes of threat and uncertainty. This chiaroscuro effect deepens the emotional texture and invites viewers into the protagonist's fluctuating mental states. Relationships among characters embody and reinforce the film's themes. The partnership between the protagonist and his close confidant exemplifies trust, mutual growth, and resilience amid adversity. Their dynamic evolves from support to collaboration, illustrating the strength found in vulnerability shared. Similarly, the bond with the young boy introduces themes of innocence, hope, and renewal, anchoring the narrative's emotional stakes. Ultimately, the film's thematic and symbolic richness transforms it into a layered story that transcends genre boundaries. It invites audiences to reflect on the nature of heroism, not as infallibility but as courage to confront fears, embrace change, and connect authentically. Through its intricate interplay of theme and symbol, the film offers a meditation on the human condition, resonating with universal truths beneath the armor's gleam. The film stands as a vivid testament to the extraordinary synergy of artistry, technology, and storytelling that defines contemporary blockbuster cinema. Behind every pulse-pounding sequence and intimate character moment lies a complex web of filmmaking techniques, each meticulously crafted to serve the narrative's emotional core and immersive spectacle. Exploring these techniques reveals how the creative team harnessed the full spectrum of cinematic tools, from camera work to sound design, to shape an atmosphere that is both exhilarating and profoundly human, delivering an experience that captivates audiences on multiple levels. Central to the film's visual storytelling is its masterful cinematography. The director of photography employed a dynamic palette of camera movements and framing choices that shift fluidly with the narrative's emotional and thematic beats. Sweeping crane shots and wide vistas establish the scope and scale of the story's settings, from gleaming urban skylines to intimate interiors, inviting viewers to inhabit a world that is at once grand and detailed. These panoramic visuals convey the protagonist's stature within the broader universe while setting the stage for the action to unfold. Conversely, the film frequently embraces tight close-ups and handheld camera work during moments of tension or vulnerability, bringing the audience into the character's personal spaces and psychological states. This juxtaposition of grand and intimate framing creates a rhythm that mirrors the narrative's oscillation between external conflict and internal struggle. The camera often lingers on subtle facial expressions and gestures, allowing emotion to emerge organically and fostering a deeper empathetic connection. The choreography of camera movement during action sequences demonstrates technical prowess and creative vision. Fluid tracking shots follow the hero's movements with precision, enhancing the kinetic energy without sacrificing clarity. Rapid pans, whip shots, and carefully timed zooms contribute to a sense of immediacy and immersion, placing viewers at the heart of the conflict. These techniques avoid disorientation by maintaining spatial awareness, a balance that heightens suspense and excitement. Lighting design plays a crucial role in shaping the film's mood and tone. Warm, golden hues bathe scenes of intimacy and hope, imbuing them with a softness and glow that contrast with the harsher, cooler lighting of conflict and menace. Strategic use of shadows and silhouettes intensifies moments of mystery and threat, while the interplay of light and darkness visually underscores themes of duality and transformation. The lighting schemes evolve alongside the narrative arc, guiding the audience's emotional response with subtlety and sophistication. Color grading further refines the film's visual identity. The early sequences pulse with vibrant saturation, celebrating the protagonist's genius and confidence. As the stakes escalate, the palette shifts toward muted, desaturated tones, reflecting the encroaching tension and vulnerability. This chromatic progression acts as a subconscious cue, deepening engagement by aligning visual tone with story developments. Editing is another cornerstone of the film's storytelling architecture. The editors crafted a seamless flow that balances pacing and clarity, ensuring that the sprawling narrative remains coherent without sacrificing emotional depth. Action scenes are edited with a brisk, rhythmic tempo that amplifies adrenaline, using rapid cuts interspersed with longer takes to modulate intensity. This approach keeps viewers on edge while allowing moments of awe and spectacle to resonate fully. In contrast, quieter character-driven scenes benefit from more measured editing, allowing performances and dialogue to breathe. The editor's sensitivity to tone facilitates a narrative ebb and flow, a cadence that mirrors the protagonist's internal journey. Transitions between scenes often employ creative devices, such as dissolves, match cuts, or graphic overlays, that enhance storytelling cohesion and visual interest. Sound design and musical scoring are integral to crafting the film's immersive atmosphere. The sound team layered ambient effects, mechanical hums, urban noise, natural environments, to ground scenes in specific settings. The contrast between the sterile sounds of technology and the organic noises of human interaction enriches the sensory experience, highlighting thematic tensions. The musical score, composed with a blend of orchestral grandeur and electronic innovation, echoes the film's fusion of humanity and machinery. Leitmotifs associated with characters and themes weave throughout, reinforcing emotional arcs and narrative motifs. Moments of tension and release are underscored by carefully orchestrated crescendos and silences, guiding the audience's emotional journey. The iconic theme, imbued with both power and melancholy, becomes a sonic emblem of the protagonist's complex identity. Visual effects represent a pinnacle of technological achievement, seamlessly integrating digital artistry with practical effects. The production combined detailed physical models, motion capture, and cutting-edge CGI to realize the hero's evolving armor and spectacular action sequences. This hybrid approach ensured that effects retained tactile realism while embracing imaginative possibilities. The visual effects team worked in close collaboration with directors and stunt coordinators to maintain narrative coherence and physical plausibility. Practical effects contributed authenticity and immediacy. Elaborate sets, mechanical rigs, and pyrotechnics provided tangible environments and physical reactions that enhanced performances and visual impact. The interplay between practical and digital effects exemplifies the film's commitment to immersive storytelling. The film's sound editing further enhances realism and excitement. Surround sound techniques envelop viewers, placing them amid battles, quiet moments, and emotional exchanges. Subtle sound cues, heartbeat rhythms, mechanical whirs, environmental reverberations, heighten sensory engagement, transforming the theater into a living, breathing world. Camera lenses and film stock choices also shape the visual texture. Selective focus and depth of field isolate characters or details, guiding attention and reinforcing emotional focus. High-resolution digital capture allows for crisp, vibrant images that support both spectacle and intimacy. Together, these filmmaking techniques coalesce into an atmospheric whole that supports and elevates the story. They invite viewers not only to witness but to inhabit the narrative world, experiencing the thrills, fears, and triumphs alongside the characters. This immersive design transforms a superhero tale into a multifaceted cinematic journey, engaging intellect and emotion in equal measure. Beyond artistry, the film's box office production reflects a well-orchestrated balance of marketing, distribution, and audience engagement. Strategic release timing, expansive promotional campaigns, and cross-media tie-ins maximized visibility and accessibility. The film's commercial success attests to the effectiveness of combining technical mastery with compelling storytelling. In sum, the film's filmmaking techniques are a masterclass in cinematic craft. Through innovative cinematography, evocative lighting, precise editing, immersive sound design, and groundbreaking visual effects, the filmmakers shaped an atmosphere that is as emotionally rich as it is visually spectacular. This synergy between technique and narrative invites audiences into an unforgettable experience, one that redefines the possibilities of the superhero genre and the art of filmmaking itself. The story of this film is not told solely through its plot or visuals, but is equally shaped by the people who brought it to life. The cast whose performances give flesh and emotion to the characters, the interviews that reveal their insights and journeys, and the audience voices that have shaped the film's lasting legacy. Exploring the layers of interaction among actors, their reflections in candid conversations, and the reception by viewers offers a rich, human dimension to the cinematic experience, weaving together artistry, interpretation, and connection. At the center stands the lead actor, whose portrayal anchors the film's emotional and narrative core. Known for his charismatic presence and sharp wit, he embraced a role that demanded vulnerability alongside bravado. In interviews, he spoke openly about the challenges of depicting a hero grappling with trauma, anxiety, and the weight of responsibility. His preparation involved deep research into mental health, conversations with experts, and personal reflection, aiming to convey authenticity beyond the usual superhero archetype. This dedication resonated deeply with critics and audiences, who praised the nuanced balance between strength and fragility. His interactions with fellow cast members fostered a palpable chemistry on screen that translated into heartfelt testimonials off-screen. The evolving partnership with his co-star, who portrayed a key emotional anchor, was highlighted in numerous interviews as foundational to the film's impact. She described their working relationship as one of mutual trust and creative challenge, pushing each other toward performances that transcended formulaic expectations. Their shared commitment to portraying a realistic and evolving relationship enriched the film's emotional resonance. Supporting actors also contributed vibrant layers to the narrative tapestry. The young actor playing the resourceful boy spoke in interviews about the thrill and responsibility of working alongside such seasoned performers. His youthful energy and natural curiosity brought levity and warmth to the production, qualities echoed in the audience's affection for his character. Veteran cast members reflected on the balance of spectacle and story, sharing insights into the collaborative environment that shaped their roles. Behind the scenes, directors, writers, and creative team members participated in conversations revealing the intentionality behind casting choices and character development. They emphasized the importance of selecting actors who could convey complexity and growth, ensuring the film's thematic depth was embodied in performance. These interviews often touched on the challenges of balancing blockbuster expectations with intimate storytelling, revealing a creative tension that fueled innovation. Audience reception has played a crucial role in shaping the film's cultural footprint. Early screenings generated enthusiastic responses, with viewers lauding the film's blend of thrilling action and emotional depth. Fan forums and social media became vibrant spaces for discussion, where audiences debated character motivations, thematic interpretations, and favorite moments. This engagement reflects the film's success in resonating across diverse demographics, fostering community and conversation. Critics' reviews similarly noted the film's strengths in character portrayal and narrative ambition. While some expressed reservations about certain plot elements, the consensus praised the lead actor's performance and the emotional authenticity woven through the spectacle. Many highlighted the film's willingness to explore vulnerability and complexity as a refreshing departure from genre norms. Audience reviews further illuminate the film's impact. Testimonials often describe personal connections to the protagonist's struggles, finding inspiration in his resilience and growth. Viewers recount how the film's portrayal of mental health and human fallibility offered comfort and validation. This emotional resonance has contributed to the film's enduring popularity and its place in discussions about superhero narratives that engage deeply with the human condition. Special features and behind-the-scenes documentaries provide additional perspectives, showcasing candid moments, rehearsal processes, and the evolution of performances. These materials reveal the actors' iterative journeys toward embodying their characters, the creative problem-solving during filming, and the joy and camaraderie shared among the cast. Such insights enrich the viewing experience, offering fans a window into the human stories behind the spectacle. Public appearances and press tours further amplified the film's visibility. Cast members engaged with fans and media through interviews, panel discussions, and live events, sharing anecdotes and reflections that deepened audience appreciation. Their openness and warmth contributed to a sense of connection that extended beyond the screen. In educational and scholarly contexts, the film has sparked analyses of performance, character development, and audience reception. Studies explore how actors' portrayals negotiate genre expectations and cultural meanings, highlighting the interplay between text and performance. Audience studies examine the film's role in shaping and reflecting contemporary ideas about heroism, identity, and vulnerability. In sum, the cast's performances, enriched by their insights and the audience's heartfelt engagement, form a vital layer of the film's storytelling fabric. Their interplay creates a dialogue between creators and viewers, a shared space where narratives come alive and resonate. This dynamic human element elevates the film beyond spectacle, forging a lasting bond that continues to inspire reflection, discussion, and admiration across the cinematic landscape. The journey we've taken together through this film has been a vivid exploration, not merely of a story, but of the intricate layers that shape how that story is told and received. We began by diving into the film's narrative heart, uncovering the hero's transformation from a figure clad in invincible armor to a man wrestling with vulnerability, trauma, and the quest for authentic identity. This evolution is mirrored in the meticulously crafted plot, which we broke down in detail, witnessing the tension, twists, and triumphs that propel the story forward with both emotional depth and exhilarating spectacle. Our exploration then turned to the characters, the beating heart of the film, whose complexities and relationships infuse the story with humanity. The protagonist's journey of resilience and growth is complemented by richly drawn companions and antagonists, each embodying thematic strands that deepen the narrative's moral and emotional texture. Through their interactions, we see reflections of trust, deception, courage, and transformation that resonate beyond the screen. The strange and fascinating facts behind the scenes opened a window into the immense collaboration and creativity fueling the production. From the technical marvels of the armor to the unpredictable moments on set, these stories reveal the human spirit and innovation that underpin the cinematic spectacle. It's a reminder that filmmaking is as much about relationships and problem-solving as it is about artistry and technology. Critical perspectives illuminated the film's thematic ambition, highlighting its bold engagement with issues of mental health, identity, and the nature of power. The film's willingness to challenge genre conventions by embracing vulnerability and complexity has sparked rich discourse, underscoring its cultural significance. Audience responses have mirrored this engagement, with heartfelt connections formed around the characters' struggles and triumphs, reinforcing the film's emotional impact. Production insights and filmmaking techniques offered a glimpse into the meticulous craftsmanship that shapes every frame. The dynamic cinematography, evocative lighting, precise editing, immersive sound design, and groundbreaking visual effects all coalesce to create an atmosphere that is both thrilling and intimate. These elements work in harmony to pull viewers into a fully realized world where spectacle and soul coexist. The settings and cinematic elements further enhance this immersion, with contrasting environments and visual motifs underscoring the narrative's thematic tensions. The interplay of light and shadow, color and texture, grounds the story in sensory reality while evoking its emotional currents. The film's world becomes a living, breathing entity, enriching the storytelling and deepening audience connection. Our look at the cast, their interviews, and the vibrant audience community revealed the human dimensions of performance and reception. The actors' commitment to authenticity, their creative camaraderie, and the heartfelt engagement of fans all contribute to the film's enduring legacy. These interactions remind us that cinema is a shared experience, a dialogue between creators and viewers that extends beyond the screen. Bringing these threads together, the film emerges as a multifaceted masterpiece, a story of heroism redefined, a technical tour de force, and a cultural touchstone that speaks to the complexities of our time. It challenges us to reconsider what strength means, to embrace vulnerability as a form of courage, and to recognize the power of connection and growth amid chaos. If this deep dive has resonated with you, and you appreciate thoughtful exploration of the stories that shape our world, I invite you to subscribe. Together, we can continue uncovering the hidden layers, the subtle details, and the profound themes that make cinema a mirror and a window, a way to understand ourselves and each other a little better. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I look forward to exploring many more stories with you, peeling back their surfaces to reveal the heartbeats beneath, and sharing the magic of cinema in all its complexity and wonder. Until next time, keep watching with curiosity and care.